Hey man, say man, look man. So today we got chaos, the big C, versus
Probably.
some random nigga named Jade. Well, by the way, that's the goal. By the way, but we got chaos versus Jade. What position are y'all? What proposition being in front?
I'll uphold the proposition that foundationalism is the most coherent theory of justification.
Okay, and chaos will obviously be negating this view or the agnostic text view. The debate will be held in discord.gg/Enten. To clarify, Enten is spelled Enten. Yes, we have debates here, we have tournaments here, and we do, tournaments with actual high prices of money like $50, $100. Just ask for a tournament, request for a tournament, and if it's an actual intellectual proposition that's being presented, we might just so do that tournament, man. See everybody back on YouTube account though.
All right, you done? Yeah. Okay. So before we start off the debate, I want to lock down some semantics first. Right.
Sure.
So first off, when you take I'm just going to define the foundationalist account for the recording. So within epistemology, there exists the issue of infinite regress, right, to justifications. Just when somebody asks why over and over again, right? And seemingly when you have that issue, you need a solution or nothing can be justified, right? A foundationalist claims that we have something called a properly basic belief, which is just a belief that all of our beliefs stem off of, right? Famously, there's beliefs such as I think therefore I am, which is the belief that you exist, right? And you can branch all your other beliefs off of that. And when I say it's going to be the most coherent theory of justification, all I'm claiming is that it's the most logical comparison to the other theories of justification that epistemology posits, such as coherentism or infinitism.
Are you doing?
And for defining coherence, right, when I say it's the most logical, when we're in reference to theories of justification being rational or logical, some type of metrics we can uphold is that they're not arbitrary, they're not circular, and they have some form of explanatory power in reference to justification. Do you agree to those metric scales?
I mean, sure, I don't really care for those type of things. How would you respond to a Wilfred Sellers type of anti-foundationalist type of view? Just saying the bush, or just criticizing the myths of the given. And we just argue that there's no raw self-justifying experiences, like I guess a meta-epistemic type thing. And then we revert those type of things, relate those type of things into which serve as foundations. And all observation is conceptually meditated. How would you respond to those type of things?
May you repeat the beginning part? My I walked in. Apologies.
Yeah, how
I
would
heard
you
the later half.
respond to a Wilfred Sellers type anti-foundationalist type view, which is just arguing that there's no raw self-justifying experiences that can serve as foundations? And then we also deflate those type of things into that all observations are conceptually meditated. How would you respond to those type of things?
Well, it depends what you mean by conceptually meditated there, and what do you mean by self-justified experiences there?
You
If you
just
just mean a
asked two
properly
things.
basic belief there, then I do believe that there can be, but I guess it just depends on what you mean by conceptually meditated there.
Okay, first you asked me two questions. Let's just break this down. You asked me, everybody type this down. What is conceptually, what does that mean? Conceptually
What is
meditated? When I'm in
Yes,
reference to something?
yes.
Okay, okay, I'll type that down. Okay, now that it's just saying that it's just repeated from what I said before, but it's just saying that experiences are not simply, I guess, like formatted in which that they're non-raw. It's just that they're uninterpreted, and instead they're shaped as like concepts, categories, and like abilities where we process, which is just
Okay,
what Wilfred Trellis says in his method of given critique.
okay. What do you mean by raw and unintended there? Those seem vague, and they seem to be not being used in a normative
I don't
sense.
even know what you mean by vague there.
I'm just claiming when I say something's vague, I mean it's kind of up to interpretation, or it can be interpreted in separate manners, right? And I
I
say,
mean, how would you interpret
kind of
it?
uphold I see can interpret the term raw in particular a bunch of ways. For example, it could be in reference to something being unrefined, or it could be in reference to something being undercooked, or it can be in reference to something being of low quality, so on and so forth. So I want like the semantics to be a bit more locked down
I
there. And
mean,
the same is true for
like right
unintended.
after I said raw there, I already gave what's in reference to, I guess we could derive those type of contexts. I said uninterpreted form. Dumb fuck. Okay. So I'm gonna need you to
But I
actually
asked what
use
you
your
mean by
British brain.
uninterpreted as
Listen,
well. So
you said what?
I said I asked you what you meant by raw and uninterpreted. So you can't just argue that the context of uninterpreted and defines raw, as I already asked you what that means as well, dumb fuck.
I mean, they're obviously gonna be shaped by the conceptualizations categories. Dumb fuck retard.
What do
Okay?
you think that
So
means?
now I'm gonna actually need you to respond. Except for trying to go on the meta level, because you're getting absolutely thrashed, dumb fuck British nigga. Okay? Because
What do you
I
think it
already
means?
said when I'm in reference to those conjunctions there, or the conditional of which something is underinterpreted or completely raw, I'm gonna be in reference to of which how they processed. Dumb fuck retard and how they categorically placed. Retard.
Yeah, what
Okay?
do you think it means to be categorically placed? What do you think that means?
You said what?
I said, what do you think categorically placed means? What do you think
You're
that's
trying to
in
be
reference?
so like okay, it's just saying that of which that it provide when it's categorically placed, it's just gonna be of which that it's under a category. I mean that's already like primitive there. I don't know what else you want
Wait,
to do, you
wait, I have a
stupid
question.
bitch.
I have a
Okay,
question. Did you say it's primitive?
yeah, it's primitive. I don't think it
What do
can
you
be
mean by primitive
semantically
there?
reduced to another thing. Yeah, I
You
just
think
did
it
that.
can be semantically reduced, right? So I just have a question about that primitive thinking, right? When you say it can't be reduced any further, are you just stating that okay, my bad. When you say it can't be reduced any further, are you claiming there's gonna be some form of foundation here to your semantics?
Sorry, repeat that, retard?
I said, are you claiming there's gonna be some form of when you say it can't be reduced any further, are you claiming there's gonna be some form of foundation to your semantics in which you cannot have it any further? Or you cannot lower it any further?
I'm not saying it's basic. When I
You're not
say it's
saying it.
basic, I'm not saying it's deflationary about the epistemic structures and how I'm actually using those things, because then that goes back into a structure of which basic beliefs, intermediate beliefs, and then more complex beliefs. That's why foundationalists defend those type of thing. But instead I'm using a non-foundational everything like holism or like the theory Latinus of observation, like Hansen, and then the myth of the given that I bring up earlier by Sellers, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, so for one, I'm just going to make it known now. I haven't read the works you're referenced to, right? So I'm asking these clarifying questions. So you can't just cite these because I'm just going to ask you over and over again, what do you think that means or what is it in reference to? So unless you want to clarify
We can
upon that entire
conclude. You're
valid.
really retarded.
Also, I don't see why we would
We
conclude
just
based on
went
that.
back to the base point. We could conclude.
The base point right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bro,
But
what were you
anyway,
gonna
right?
say?
But we went back into foundationalism, which is the base point, retard.
We went back to
And then that's
foundation.
what we're arguing about. And you still didn't refute what anti-foundationalism is, retard. So now we could actually just conclude. We could
Wait.
conclude.
Are you retarded? Wait, I'm asking clarifying questions before I even address the anti-realism point. I'm asking for definitions so we have clarity
Anti-realism?
here.
Dumb fuck?
I mean, not realism, realism,
Yeah, we could
foundation.
conclude.
Sorry.
We could
I'm
conclude.
asking
Who do you
for
want as judge?
definitions and shit so we can have clarity
We
here
could
from the entire
conclude. Who do
audience.
you want as judge, nigga?
You're obviously just asking. You're obviously just
My
invoking a bunch of
God.
viewpoints, right? But you're not clarifying as to what the viewpoint actually is. And if you're gonna do that, you actually, yeah, we can't conclude.
This nigga's retarded. Okay, you want to give conclusions or no?
Yeah, I'll get my conclusion.
Okay, go.
Yeah. So, right when we're in, so I believe I won, due to the fact that when we're actually defining these semantics here, right? He hasn't actually like gone out and done all these, right? So for one, like I asked him what he thinks it means these X term, or we can just I guess we could just say X term, right? I ask him what he means by X term, right? He explains it using other terms, right? And then I ask what those terms mean, so on and so forth. And he gives this primitive here, right? I ask him to define this primitive, and he does so. And I ask him what he means by deflammatory there, and he just doesn't answer my question. And then he tries to go back to the baseline or the original debate, and then he tries to claim that I didn't respond to the thing, and thus we should conclude, which I did respond to the thing by claiming that it wasn't clarified upon or it wasn't understood properly. So I don't see how I can even negate something that is ambiguous or vague here, because obviously you just didn't answer my question upon semantics being what it means to be deflammatory there.
I don't think I need to give my conclusion. You're just very confused. I don't really care. My God.
Son?
Okay, so I don't agree to polls, buddy, or you still lost, bro.
Wait,
Uh,
who's
Jay
judging?
won, bro. Hey,
Like,
Jay won.
he's never proving that. But I asked Claudia to judge.
And not gonna lie. Hey, maybe not off conclusions, but I mean, like substantively, bro. I think Jay definitely could have
You're
that.
a retard.
No, like
I mean, you
he
could have
met
had
the
that. I agree to
he
that.
met
I
the
mean, I wasn't
he met
bringing
the
up any. Listen, I wasn't bringing up like anything complicated. I just bring up like best like base things about
No,
anti-foundationalism.
the point conclusion was just weird, bro. And like, I don't like how he cast out his. I don't think he really tracked it well in his conclusions, but like, because you didn't like respond to that with your own conclusions, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I like Jade. Not position, bro.
But yo, cool guy. I wasn't even using anything like complicated about epistemology, bro. I barely was talking, nigga. You just hating, nigga. Chaos, you're always so hostile and your cheeks at 2K.
I
Suck my
take care
dick.
from never